Life isn't about what you were born with, where you come from, or what's been handed to you. It's about what you're willing to suffer for, how much pain you can endure, and whether you'll keep pushing when everything inside you is screaming to stop. Most people quit when it gets hard. They let the discomfort dictate their actions. They talk themselves out of the work, out of the discipline, out of the grind. And that's why they never break through. The difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't is simple. It's the willingness to keep going when every fiber of your being tells you to give up. It's understanding that suffering isn't the enemy. It's the way forward. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Strength isn't built in ease. You don't become unstoppable by doing what's easy. You become unstoppable by embracing what's hard, by seeking out the struggle, by making pain your fuel. There will be days when you feel broken, when your mind is screaming for you to stop. That's the moment that defines you, because in that moment you have a choice. You can give in or you can push past it. And when you push past it, something happens. You start to realize that the limits you thought you had were just illusions. Your mind tries to protect you from discomfort, but discomfort is exactly what you need to grow. The key to everything is consistency. Anyone can work hard when they feel good. But what about the days you feel like garbage? What about the moments when motivation is gone and the only thing left is the choice to show up or back down? That's when the real ones rise. That's when those who refuse to be average separate themselves from the rest. Every single day, you have to be willing to put yourself in the fire, to suffer, to struggle, to fail and keep moving forward, to embrace the pain, because on the other side of it is something greater. No one is going to do it for you. No one is coming to save you. You are the only one who can decide what kind of life you're going to live. Will you settle? Will you make excuses? Or will you become the kind of person who refuses to stop, who refuses to let weakness win? Most people die never knowing what they were truly capable of because they were afraid to push past their comfort. That's not going to be you. You're going to rise. You're going to suffer. And through that suffering, you will become something greater than you ever thought possible. Keep going. Stay hard. Suffering is not the enemy. It is the path to growth. Most people spend their entire lives running from pain, avoiding discomfort, and seeking out the easiest route. But the truth is, nothing worth having comes without struggle. The strongest minds, the toughest bodies, and the most resilient spirits are forged in the fire of adversity. When you choose to embrace suffering instead of fearing it, you unlock a level of strength that most people will never tap into. Pain is a test, a teacher, and a tool. It shows you what you're made of. When everything feels like it's falling apart, when your body is screaming for you to stop, and when your mind tells you that you've had enough, that is the moment of truth. Most people back down. They quit before they ever see what's on the other side of that pain. But if you push forward, if you embrace it instead of running from it, you start to realize that suffering isn't the end, it's the beginning of something greater. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing suffering as something to escape, see it as an opportunity. Every time you put yourself through hardship, every time you choose to take the harder road, you are building something inside of you that cannot be broken. The body will adapt, the mind will grow stronger, and your ability to endure will increase. But none of that happens if you choose comfort over challenge. It's not about talent, it's not about luck, it's about who is willing to suffer the most, who is willing to endure the longest, and who refuses to break no matter how much it hurts. The people who achieve the impossible are the ones who have conditioned themselves to handle more pain than everyone else. They have trained their minds to see struggle as fuel, not as an obstacle. Every day there is an opportunity to embrace suffering. It's in the extra mile when your legs are burning. It's in the extra rep when your muscles feel like they can't take anymore. It's in the early mornings when you'll feel like getting up but do it anyway. Most people avoid these moments. The few who seek them out are the ones who separate themselves from the rest. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have, but it can also be your greatest enemy. It will always try to keep you comfortable, to protect you from pain, to convince you that you've reached your limit when in reality, you are nowhere near it. The problem is, most people listen to that voice. They stop when it gets hard. They quit when their body starts to hurt. They settle for what feels safe instead of pushing past what seems impossible. But the truth is, the human body and mind are capable of so much more than we give them credit for. The only thing stopping you is the belief that you can't go any further. Limits are an illusion. What you think is your breaking point is actually just a mental barrier, a self-imposed restriction that you've convinced yourself is real. But if you refuse to listen to that voice, if you decide to keep moving forward when every part of you wants to stop, you'll realize that those so-called limits can be shattered. Every time you push past what you once thought was impossible, you expand your potential. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than you ever imagined. Think about the moments when you've wanted to give up. Maybe it was during a workout. Maybe it was during a long day at work. Maybe it was in the middle of a challenge that felt overwhelming. Your body started to ache. Your mind told you that you'd done enough, and quitting seemed like the easiest option. But what if you had pushed just a little bit further? What if you had ignored that voice telling you to stop and kept going? That's where the breakthrough happens. That's where you start to separate yourself from the average, from the weak, from the ones who let life dictate their potential instead of taking control of it. Pushing past limits isn't just about physical endurance. It's about mental resilience. It's about proving to yourself over and over again that you are in control. Not your doubts, not your fears, and certainly not the voice inside your head telling you that you can't. The moment you learn to push through that pain, to embrace the discomfort instead of fearing it, is the moment you start unlocking a version of yourself that most people will never experience. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you feel unstoppable, ready to take on the world. The next, you don't even want to get out of bed. That's why motivation can't be the thing you rely on. If you wait until you feel motivated, you'll never be consistent. And without consistency, you'll never reach your full potential. The key is in motivation is discipline. It's the ability to show up and do the work even when you don't feel like it, even when every excuse is screaming in your head telling you to take it easy. Most people operate based on their emotions. If they feel good, they give their best effort. If they feel tired, stressed, or unmotivated, they take shortcuts or quit altogether. That's why so few people ever break past mediocrity. But the ones who do, the ones who succeed at the highest level, understand that how they feel doesn't matter. What matters is what they do. The work has to get done no matter what. The mission has to be completed regardless of how tired, frustrated, or uninspired they might be. Discipline is what separates the ones who achieve from the ones who dream. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's hitting the gym when your body is sore. It's putting in extra hours of work when you could be relaxing. It's saying no to distractions and excuses, no matter how tempting they are. Discipline is the ability to control your actions, to stick to your commitments, and to push forward, even when every part of you wants to stop. The truth is, motivation fades. No one is motivated all the time. Even the most successful, driven people in the world have days where they don't feel like doing the work. The difference is they do it anyway. They've trained themselves to push past their emotions and stick to their habits. That's what it takes to succeed in anything: fitness, business, relationships, or life itself. You have to build the kind of discipline that makes action automatic, that makes showing up and putting in the effort a part of who you are, not just something you do when you feel like it. At the end of the day, it's not about how inspired you are in the moment. It's about whether you have the self-control, the mental toughness, and the determination to stay committed to your goals, day in and day out, no matter what life throws at you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake you up early in the morning, push you out of bed, and force you to put in the work. No one's going to drag you to the gym, make you read the books, or hold you accountable when you feel like slacking. That's on you. If you're waiting for someone to come along and push you to be great, you'll be waiting your whole life. The harsh reality is you are responsible for everything in your life: your success, your failures, your growth, and your setbacks. Until you accept that truth, you'll always be stuck blaming others, making excuses, and never reaching your full potential. Too many people go through life with a victim mindset. They blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their genetics, or their luck for why they aren't where they want to be. But the truth is, none of that matters. Life is unfair. Some people are born with advantages while others have to work twice as hard just to reach the starting line. But sitting around complaining about it doesn't change anything. The only thing that changes your situation is action. Relentless, disciplined, and consistent action, the moment you stop looking for outside help, the moment you stop waiting for permission or the perfect opportunity, is the moment you take control of your life. No one cares how tired you are. No one cares how hard your past was. The world keeps moving. Whether you rise to the challenge or not, you either step up and take responsibility or you get left behind. The ones who succeed are the ones who refuse to make excuses. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for someone to push them. They wake up every day and do what needs to be done, no matter how they feel. If you want something, you have to go get it. If you want to be stronger, faster, smarter, or more successful, it's on you to put in the work. No one is going to do it for you. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for easy ways out. The truth is, the only way to get where you want to be is through hard work, sacrifice, and an unshakable mindset. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll start making real progress. Struggle is not a sign that something is wrong. It's proof that you're on the right path. Most people try to avoid struggle at all costs. They want the results without the pain, the success without the sacrifice. But that's not how life works. Strength, growth, and resilience are built through hardship. The more you struggle, the tougher you become. The more obstacles you face, the stronger you get. Every challenge, every setback, every painful moment is an opportunity to level up. But only if you embrace it instead of running from it. There is no growth in comfort. If you always choose the easy route, you will stay the same, weak, unprepared, and stuck in the same cycle of mediocrity. The ones who rise above are the ones who seek out struggle, who put themselves in situations where they are forced to grow. They understand that pain is necessary. They don't complain when things get hard. They welcome it because they know that struggle is the price of greatness. Think about the toughest people in the world, the elite athletes, the warriors, the ones who dominate in their field. None of them got there by taking the easy road. They got there by suffering more than anyone else was willing to. They didn't break when things got hard. They didn't quit when they failed. They used every challenge as fuel to push them forward. They conditioned themselves to thrive in discomfort. That's what separates the strong from the weak. Most people quit at the first sign of resistance. They feel a little pain, a little discomfort, and they back down. That's why they never reach their true potential. But if you learn to lean into the struggle instead of avoiding it, something changes. Your mind gets stronger. Your body gets tougher. Your ability to endure increases. Suddenly, the things that once seemed impossible start to feel normal. You realize that struggle isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Every day you have a choice. You can take the easy way out, avoid the hard work and stay the same, or you can choose struggle, face your challenges head on, and become the strongest version of yourself. The path to success is paved with pain. The only question is, are you willing to endure it? Most people go through life settling for less than they're capable of. They convince themselves that they're doing enough, that they're working hard, that they're pushing their limits, but deep down, they know the truth. They know they're holding back. They know they're choosing comfort over growth. And the worst part, they accept it. They accept being average. They accept being stuck. They accept a life that is far below what they're truly capable of. But that doesn't have to be you. You have a choice. You can either live like the majority, playing it safe, doing just enough to get by, making excuses for why you're not where you want to be, or you can refuse to settle. You can choose to demand more from yourself. You can choose to raise your standards, to push harder, to stop accepting mediocrity as your reality. Because at the end of the day, no one is going to force you to be great. No one is going to drag you to your potential. It's on you to decide what kind of life you want to live. Refusing to settle means making the hard choices. It means doing the work when no one is watching. It means setting goals so high that they scare you and then doing whatever it takes to reach them. It means being relentless in your pursuit of growth, no matter how difficult the road gets. The ones who achieve the impossible are the ones who refuse to lower their expectations just because something is hard. Most people die without ever knowing what they were truly capable of. They let fear, doubt, and comfort keep them from pushing to their highest level. They look back on their lives filled with regret, knowing they could have done more, been more, achieved more. That will not be you. You are not here to be average. You are not here to coast through life, avoiding challenges and settling for mediocrity. You are here to be great. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop settling for anything less than your absolute best. Every single day is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts, tougher than your struggles, and more capable than you ever imagined. The only thing standing between you and your potential is the decision to go all in. No more half measures, no more playing it safe, no more settling. It's time to step up, put in the work, and become the person you were meant to be. Stay hard.